crops are that they resist insects and withstand herbicides, meaning. But a new study claims that GM crops are leading to tougher herbicide-resistant weeds, leading to. Among the many attributes, apparently, of genetically modified crops are that they resist insects and withstand herbicides, meaning you can easily kill the weeds without killing, say, the corn. But a new study claims that GM crops are leading to tougher herbicide-resistant weeds, leading to more use of chemicals on farms, not less. There are those who disagree with the study, though, so to figure out the net effect of GM crops on the health of our farms and on your food, I'm joined by Janet Carpenter, an agricultural economist, Kevin Falter, a professor of horticultural sciences at the University of Florida, Will Allen, an organic farmer in Vermont, and on the phone is Chuck Benbrook, who's the author of the study itself. Chuck, can you just kick us off by telling us what are you claiming that your study shows?
Well, my study documents the substantial increase in herbicide use that's occurred over the last approximate 10 years as corn, soybean, and cotton farmers in the U.S. have struggled to keep up with the emergence and spread of weed species that are resistant to glyphosate, the primary herbicide that's associated with genetically engineered herbicide-tolerant crops, also referred to as Roundup-ready crops. And so, basically, unfortunately, farmers have been drawn onto a sort of herbicide treadmill, and as more glyphosate-resistant weeds emerge and spread, they have to add additional herbicides to their spray program, increasing their costs and environmental and public health risks, and quite probably leading to further resistance problems down the road. So we're kind of in a situation that's beginning to spiral out of control.
The way that a lot of people might think of it is, for example, we know about antibiotic resistance, right? When we use a lot of low-grade antibiotics on farms, in farm animals, then we breed superbugs, and we sort of, it's the same with using antiseptic hand cleansers and things like that. And, is that a same kind of analogy where if you're using more and more herbicides, what you're doing is breeding through natural selection weeds that are resistant to those herbicides?
That's exactly right. I mean, it was really, it's just unimaginable that 150 million acres of cropland every year in the United States are sprayed with Roundup. That would be like treating all infectious disease with one antibiotic, and any doctor would tell you how long that would work for.
As an organic farmer yourself, how do you see the proliferation of GM crops more broadly?
For all the commodity crops, corn, cotton, soy, canola, they're genetically modified. Corn is like somewhere in the neighborhood of 80% genetically modified. Soy is around 96, cotton right around 95%, and canola is, pretty much, we have a tough time finding non-GMO canola seed because we grow canola for oil. So it's a serious problem. It's limited our seed choices because one thing, the farmers went for it right away because they thought it was going to reduce their chemical use. That hasn't totally happened. I think that Chuck's right that it's insecticide use is down in those commodity crops, but herbicide use is way up in those commodity crops. And, we could argue about data sets forever, but none of the data sets are any good except the California EPA Department of Pesticide Regulation data set, because those are based on actual pesticide use reports, whereas all of the USDA surveys that are done by the National Agricultural Statistical Services are really surveys.